enjoy your solo. Oh, no applause? You're all fired.
Now that you've reached the stage in your life where quality television is important, Nubian TV is a black network that speaks to your lifestyle. Nubian TV is the world's first digital network devoted to the upscale and political lifestyles of black people. Nubian TV's programming includes politics, travel, fashion, food, automotive, arts and culture, civil rights, music, and more. Watch now on Amazon Fire TV, Roku, or watch globally at nubiantv.net. Nubian TV, it's what you want to watch.
Sweet morning dew, one look at you, and it was plain to see you were my best value. I come from nothing. Our fun is your fun. Welcome to the celebration. We all we got. I'll do that. Don't you leave here today for happiness. I want you to leave here to show
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you to the 5 people that were here. And hey, everybody, welcome in. Glad to have you all here. Tonight's conversation is going to be for the grown. It's going to be for the mature, and it's going to be for the people who can uck with it, okay? All right, with that being said, higher is way, low is available. But either way, we are live on tour. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see the virtual tour background. Yes, you do. You hear that virtual tour music. Yes, you do. And then there is me. Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you here. So we are here for this conversation as I get the overlay up here as technology wants to try me. We are here for this conversation right here. The state of Black media is changing. Are we being culturally appropriated rather for what we can do, or culturally appreciated for who we are? This is the conversation for tonight. As you can see, the lay of the land here, Disney has no Black network. NBC Universal, no Black network, but Black people watch Bravo. Warner Bros. Discovery is the Oprah Winfrey Network. Fox has Fox Soul. Next Star Media Group Incorporated has no Black network, and Paramount has BET, Black Entertainment Television. That is the state of Black media as we are seeing it now. As I take down this overlay, I am going to utilize a foundational point for our conversation here, okay? Now, one of the commercials you saw was for let me take down this overlay real quick. Sorry. So one of the commercials that you saw, right, was for Nubian television, right? So I want to pull up Nubian TV right now. And I'm going to use Nubian TV and Melody Cherie. Okay. I'm going to use Nubian TV and Melody Cherie. Going to use Nubian TV and Melody Cherie. Okay. Now, this is going to tie into this Black media conversation very astutely. Okay. This is not shading. This is not dragging. This is not any hateration. Y'all know I love Melody to the moon and back. Okay. But also in the same token, like I said, this is a wrong conversation tonight. Okay. So let me share home screen. Now, when I click on Nubian TV, now I did this a little bit earlier just to make sure that, something changed, okay? So here it is here. As it loads up, because y'all know how technology likes to be tech. Here is Nubian TV, okay? Now, they got Nubian's hit shows. But here's the thing. When you click on the Google Play Store, right? When you click on the Google Play Store, I'm going to show you, right? Doesn't come up on Google Play, right? Does not come up on Google Play. Okay. So that's on Google Play. That's technology wants to tech. So go back to Nubian TV. Okay. There's Nubian there. When I click the App Store, right? The Apple App Store, rather. Does it bring you up to it, right? So, that's one, okay? Now, I was trying to, see if there was anything new, because y'all remember there was an Instagram post saying that there would be something new developing with Nubian TV, rebranding, new shows, this, that, and the third, right? So here is Nubian Magazine. Okay. Now, I did not know about this. I didn't really see any promotion for it at all. So as it loads up here, give it a moment. They only have 2 issues, one from February 2/25 and one from April. Now, when I click Watch Now, I want you to see this. Okay, I'm gonna click Watch Now. Site under maintenance. Okay. Like I said, I'm gonna use Nubian and Melody Cherie as the foundation for where the Say It Black Media is, right from the space right here and right now. That's gonna be a little bit later on. Okay. I got a dog walk you there. Okay. All right. So, with that being said, let's get to the gang and doing what we do. So, from the Hollywood Report, Comcast's chief financial officer makes the case that its TV spinoff company can be a growth engine. Jason Armstrong says that Versant, the new firm comprised of assets like MSNBC, CNBC, USA Network, and Sci-Fi, will have a strong balance sheet to invest in its properties. As Comcast rolls out Versant, its cable TV spinoff, Chief Financial Officer Jason Armstrong has touted the advantages in investing in building additional scale for SpinCo, which is now called Versant, to include USA Network, Sci-Fi, MSNBC, and CNBC. For Versant, their opportunity is going to be a well-capitalized company, a very strong management team, and a lot of free cash flow, and the ability to do things in digital that we weren't necessarily thinking of. Armstrong told the Modern Ethnos Media, Internet, and Communications Conference during a session on Thursday. He added the SpinCo initiative is expected to be completed in late 2025, which is probably fall. Also opens the way for additional consolidation in the TV industry as a possible roll-up vehicle for more cable channels. Not being too perspective about that, but if you look at the way they're going to be set up with a talented leadership team, a strong balance sheet, they're going to have a lot of options, Armstrong said. After Comcast earlier managed its linear TV and streaming business on a combined basis, the media giant has turned to a cable spinoff to reveal underlying shareholder value for misfit NBC Universal cable channels. The new venture Versant will include most of Comcast's cable TV assets, including USA, Sci-Fi, CNBC, MSNBC, Oxygen, and the Golf Channel, as well as I think it's Sports Pass, Sportsnet, Golf Pass, Fandango, and Rotten Tomatoes. The NBC Broadcast Network and Peacock would remain with the core company. Also, that includes Peacock. Versant will be led by CEO Mark Lazarus, CFO, Chief Financial Officer, and Chief Operations Officer Anaid Kimi, and Chairman David Novak, with senior executives largely plucked from the ranks of NBC Universal. Armstrong also talked about Peacock post-SpinCo after the NBC Universal streamer during the recent first quarter narrowed its loss to $215 million from $639 million in the year-ago period. Peacock will be well positioned as a standalone business. We are 41 million subscribers in less than 5 years. It's one of the fastest trajectories. Peacock ended March 2025 with 41 million paid subscribers after taking in new Chart Communications subscribers, compared with 36 million for the year-end 2024 quarter and the previous third quarter of 2024. Armstrong added, bring the NFL to Peacock while adding content costs would bolster its sports offerings and get the streaming platform closer to ESPN in its consumer appeal. It's an incredible price proposition for the consumer, which tells a guy like me that we got monetization options, he argued, as Peacock goes up against ESPN's standalone streaming package, priced at $30 per month. By the way, Rich Eisen is coming back to ESPN Disney. The Rich Eisen show will be on Disney Plus this fall. Armstrong, and I think also on Hulu. It's going to be on ESPN standalone streamer package and standalone streamer platform and Disney Plus. My bad. Armstrong also talked up Epic Universe, the new Orlando theme park opening next week for Universal Destinations on May 22nd, 2025. Of course, May 21st will be the media grand opening for the media. Of course, I know I double spoke, but you get what I mean. We've got the biggest new park to be launched in the last 30 years, launching in the United States next week, Armstrong said, as theme parks remain a key investment target for the media conglomerate as a core asset for growth. And he argued Universal had seen no fallout so far in the run-up to the opening of Epic Universe from recessionary pressures impacted consumer spending on theme parks. We haven't yet, Armstrong added, about the impact on advanced booking trends for Epic Universe and theme parks. He said that Universal Studios Hollywood, the film studio and theme park at Universal, will take time to return to the strength after the recent Los Angeles wildfires, but outside of that, economic impacts, we're not seeing it, Armstrong said. So I wanted to start off with that because, as you all may or may not remember, I was the first person to talk about NBC Universal spinning off their cable networks, right, in SpinCo. I was ahead of NBC News and the Today Show in reporting their news. So from what I'm seeing is that the assets that cable news has had, from what I've seen rather, the networks believe that these cable networks are not functioning. And I would tend to disagree with that. I think they're not investing in enough programming and they don't have a brand that is diversified enough and accessible enough for the consumer. So I have a formula: diversification plus accessibility equals your rise or demise in media, right? So the more diversified a platform is and the more accessible that platform is, the better off that rise will be. But if your diversification of the platform is shit and the accessibility of your platform is shit, then guess what? It's going to be shit consequences, right? So just want to bring that up there. Now, that was from NBC Universal. This is from the New York Post. Y'all remember that Skydance deal, right? That's going on. Well, it's in a little bit of a impasse right now, right? But from the New York Post, as media tries, as technology comes up here. Come on. There we go. Here we go from the New York Post. Now remember, Paramount, right, has BET, Black Entertainment Television. NBC Universal does not have a black network. Remember, the state of black media we're talking about. Ellison's will go on buying spree should Paramount Skydance still ever get green light. David Ellison doesn't even own Paramount, but he's planning to grow it on the money has learned. The Skydance chief with money to burn from his billionaire dad, Oracle founder Larry Ellison, knows that in the new era of media, he needs scale to compete, even when most other media companies are floundering. Meanwhile, Sherry Redstone is said to be willing to throw $47 up to $50 million to sell a lawsuit with Paramount CBS News subsidiary to make it happen on the money can't confirm. More on that in a bit. Scale is something that Paramount, with a money-losing streaming channel, that would be Paramount Plus, by the way, and all media properties like Nickelodeon, CBS, Nickelodeon, MTV, plus a movie studio, just doesn't have. It's one of the main reasons why. It's one of the main reasons the controlling Redstone family is selling. As you can see, there is Dave Ellison and that's why this is Dave Ellison here. This is Dave Ellison, that's Larry Ellison. So I like the gift there. Put simply, Paramount is too small to compete with industry giants like Comcast and Warner Bros. Discovery. Like I said, Comcast does not have a black network. Warner Bros. Discovery has the Oprah Winfrey Network. So the talk in media circles is that once the Paramount Skydance deal is signed and approved by the White House, more on that Archer's role in a moment, David and Larry will start buying stuff. One problem is that Paramount has a relatively small international presence. That means David, or to be more precise, Larry, will have to dip into his wallet to expand the reach of a streaming product outside the U.S., just like Hulu. Hulu is only available in the United States from Disney. It's been around as long as Netflix has. If they want to start making even a few bucks like rival Warner Bros. Discovery has accomplished in its foray into streaming, Paramount could also use better signature media properties. CBS is not what it was, and as we discussed, its new division is a box ton of trouble for all its history of great journalism. And Nickelodeon and MTV has seen viewership decline because of cord cutting, competition from social media. Think TikTok. I am told Skydance's new management, led by the very capable Jeff Schnell, formerly of NBC Universal and currently with Redbird Capital, Skydance Skydance is partner in the deal. Can't wait to get his hands on CBS sports products and monetize delivery. But sports are expensive. CBS pays more than $2 billion a year. You heard me right, $2 billion a year for NFL broadcast rights, and the league has an opt-out option for 4 years. Yes, the Ellisons have the money to make it work, so look for a deal or 2 or 3. I am told should the Paramount purchase finally get approved by 47's regulators at the Federal Communications Commission, a Skydance rep had no comment. But their problem isn't with money, it's with the 47 FCC and the inherent woke nature of Paramount and CBS in particular, and it centers on charges of bias in its news programming that now face oversight from a White House that hates all things woke. It's also with 47 who's suing the company over alleged bias. Reporters have a First Amendment shield to express opinion and cover the news. Of course, that extends to broadcast companies, but if those companies want to operate over public airways as opposed to cable, they also have some responsibilities, including presenting programming in the public interest news that is saying political bias. Plus, they have to comply with various laws, including those that govern employment practices. Regulators review compliance with all the above when media properties change hands, as in the case of Skydance's $8 billion deal to purchase Paramount from Redstone. The FCC wants assurances Paramount will no longer discriminate in hiring through its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, which had dominated its employment practices for years. I wonder how they feel about Black entertainment television. Oh, by the way, did I mention that Paramount Global's in $14.9 billion in debt? They tried to sell BET. Tyler Perry tried to buy it for $2 billion. And then Byron Allen tried to buy it for $3 billion. And Paramount denied them. Tyler Perry said he would not try to buy BET again because the process was disrespectful. And then Byron Allen went on to do a $10 billion bid for ABC, and I think a $15 million deal for Paramount. Byron Allen Paramount bid. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. I was kind of right. So a $30 billion bid, right? Bloomberg reports that Allen offered $14.3 billion for outstanding shares, right, of Paramount Global. Okay. So I was about right. So I was about 1 million over, essentially. So the bid was valued at $30 billion, right? And that is to buy out the company's outstanding stock and existing debt. Okay. As of that Tuesday, Paramount Global's market cap stood at $9.13 billion, and the company's debt load is just over $15 billion. Okay. Allen previously fielded a $3.5 billion bid for Paramount's BET networks and VH1 cable. So, like I said, BET, VH1, which was under MTV, but then went over to BET. So that's right. VH1 was under MTV's control. Now it's under BET's control. Also, BET Studios as well. Yes, indeed. So I just wanted to bring that into the timeline in case you didn't know. Reviews also kick in when there's a credible complaint made that the news is tiled in a political manner, as was the case when a conservative legal group filed a charge with the FCC that said CBS, during the heat of the 2024 presidential election, deceptively edited an interview with the then Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris to make her sound more coherent than usual. Sir, that would be you needing that edit. Not Kamala Harris, but okay. Both of those issues are being adjudicated by 47's FCC, while 47 himself has sued CBS, claiming $20 billion in damages over the contested Harris interview. But didn't you have a verdict of sexually assaulting a woman in a dressing room in New York, and you got paid a $3.3 million? And also, too, you were charged with fraud. You can't serve on New York board for 3 years. But yet you in the White House, though, with everything that you've done. Also, you've been impeached twice. Interesting. But $20 billion in damages. So if you get the $20 billion in damages, you know you ain't gonna be able to keep that money, right? It's gonna have to go to all your lawsuits, right? Okay. Here's where things stand. Paramount, even before changing hands, has been ditching DEI, at least in name, and will continue to do so in practice once Ellison takes over, I am told. The FCC recently met with the conservative legal group known as CAR, or the Center for American Rights, that filed a complaint over the Harris interview that appeared on 60 Minutes. Yes, it's publicly denied that it did anything wrong, but the FCC, being CAR, discussed remedies that would solidify the group and lead regulators to giving the deal the green light, sources told on the money. Those measures include moving some of CBS News operations out of deep blue LA or New York and appointing an outside group to monitor left-wing political bias in its news program. Are you kidding? You do realize Paramount Studios is in Los Angeles, California, right? And New York is the home of CBS News, right? So where are you gonna go, right? I mean, you got Las Vegas, which I think Warner Bros. Discovery is building a studio out there. Are you going to build one in Texas? Shout out to Texas, by the way. No disrespect to Texas. But like, really? Really? You're going to tell a news organization where they should go. And you're going to appoint an outside group to tell CBS News they have political bias against programming. Okay. But yet Fox News can just say this, that, and the third about blacks and everybody that doesn't look like y'all. Okay. Redstone, it says she'd be willing to pay 47 tens of millions of dollars to sell the suit just so she can put the matter behind her, preserve some family wealth, even if it would dent CBS rep. And it's pretty clear why she is in such a rush to put the site behind her. Recall that in 2019, when she took over the media company created by her dad, the late media mogul Summer Redstone, Paramount was worth $30 billion. The deal with Skydance now values it at $8 billion. $30 billion down to $8 billion. And when it's all said and done, she will walk away with around $2 billion. You do the math. Paying $47.50 million will still allow her to preserve at least $1 billion of her inheritance. Yeah, I know. So you have, like I said, let's go to the map. To use some where on the world Carmen Sandiego words there. Let's look at the map as it pulls up. Streaming is a little bit laggy sometimes. Right here. So like I said, Disney has no black network. NBC Universal has no black network, but black people watch Bravo. Warner Bros. Discovery has the Oprah Winfrey Network. Fox has Fox Soul. Next Star Media Group has no black network. And then Paramount has BET, Black Entertainment Television. Okay, so that's the lay of the land. Okay, so we talked about NBC Universal, right? We talked about Paramount, right? Okay. Let me take this down here. Like I said, this is a grown conversation tonight. Okay, so if you're gonna feel offended, this might be your time to leave. Okay, but for everybody else, welcome in. Glad to have you here. I just had to get that out the way because we talking tonight. A conversation that needs to be had on the state of black media. Okay, so the Hollywood Reporter reported on Paramount Plus subscribers, right? As that loads up here. Give it a moment. And like I said, if StreamYard cuts out, I will be back, y'all. Don't worry about that. It happens from time to time. And don't worry, I'm gonna bring up Nubian and Melody Cherie a little bit later on in this show. I just talked about them in the beginning, but I'm going to utilize Melody Cherie and Nubian TV as a point in my commentary where black media is, the state of black media is, rather. Just a little bit, so stay tuned. And like I said, my take, it's nothing but love, grace, and space, but also we gotta say what needs to be said, respectfully. From the Hollywood Reporter, Paramount Global hits 79 million subscribers as streaming loss shrinks to $109 million. StreamYard is a little lackadaisical right now. There we go. Okay. Right here, Paramount Plus hits 79 million subscribers as streaming loss shrinks to $109 million. Paramount Global said its direct-to-consumer streaming business was on track to reach domestic profitability in 2025. Paramount Global unveiled its first quarter financial results Thursday as controlling shareholder National Amusements, led by Sherry Redstone, looks to close the sale of the Hollywood studio to Dave Ellison Skydance. By the way, Skydance and Paramount have been working together for a long time. For those of you who don't know, John Lasseter used to be at Pixar. Disney had a little bit of a scandal, so then he moved over to Skydance. And of course, Skydance has worked on Mission Impossible and many other hits with Paramount. So of course, that seems to be the leader for who won the bid. During the latest quarter to March 31st, the company hit 79 million Paramount Plus streaming subscribers worldwide, up 11% year-on-year from 77.5 million Paramount Plus subscribers at the end of its fourth quarter of 2024. The company added 1.5 million Paramount Plus subscribers during the past 3 months against 5.6 million brought on board during the fourth quarter of 2024. And the studio posted a streaming loss of $109 million for the first quarter, an improvement over a $286 million loss in the fourth quarter of 2024. Direct-to-consumer revenue rose 9% to $2.04 billion as advertising revenue fell 9% to $473 million, while subscription revenue rose 16% to $1.57 billion, driven by growth from Pluto TV and Paramount Plus. So Pluto TV is their free advertising video on demand platform. Paramount Plus is the paid streaming platform. During a post-market analysis call, co-CEO Chris McCarthy, who runs MTV, I think Nickelodeon, and the cable networks, in prepared remarks said the studio has had its eyes on cutting operation costs and recessionary pressures threatening overall consumer spending. We have not been seeing a meaningful impact due to the dynamic macro environment. That said, looking forward, given the uncertainty, we are prioritizing key investments while taking incremental steps to streamline non-content expenses. Chief Financial Officer Navin Chopra added growing macroeconomic uncertainty, particularly in advertising, has the potential to impact our results later this year. To mitigate that impact, co-CEO Brian Robbins told analysts Paramount Pictures have reduced average production costs for tentpole movies. Tentpole movies are basically like, for example, the Super Bowl, the Oscars, the Grammys, the Tonys, these big events that can drive the profit or deficit of the company. By 35% over the last 2 years to drive profitability, Paramount Global swung to a first quarter profit of $152 million compared to a year earlier net loss at $554 million. The studio's overall fourth quarter revenue fell to $7.19 billion against a year earlier $7.68 billion. That beats Zacchaeus consensus estimate for Paramount's first quarter revenues to come in at $7.1 billion. Company execs reiterate the studio remains on track to reach domestic profitability with Paramount Plus for a full year 2025. Domestic means U.S., international means overseas. As a streaming platform has hit TV series like Landman, Yellow Jackets, and Yellowstone. But much as the studio prizes its exclusive and sprawling overall deal with Taylor Sheridan, set to run to 2028, don't expect Paramount Global to acquire 101 Studios, the production banner behind the Yellowstone creator. As it relates to 101 Studios, they're absolutely a preferred partner. We love working with them and David Glasser and what he and his team built, so much so that we have invested in them, but we do like the relationship we have. We think the incentives are based on where they should be. Co-CEO McCarthy told analysts that as the studio continues to treat Sheridan and 101 Studios as separate entities, McCarthy added Paramount was keen to allow Sheridan as a prolific hit maker to maintain his creative control. He is a unique creative, and we built a model that was uniquely around him as opposed to forcing him to go through our structure, he argued. Elsewhere, overall TV revenue fell 13% to $4.53 billion as advertising revenue fell 20% to $2.03 billion compared to the first quarter of 2024 when CBS broadcast the Super Bowl, 50. Let me see, because y'all know I ain't really good with Roman numerals, child. Let me see here. Super Bowl LVII. That was just last year. What's the damn number? So I'm trying to see. Okay, let me see what LBII is. Super Bowl 58. Thank you. When CBS broadcast Super Bowl 58, excluding the Super Bowl broadcast, the company said TV media advertising was flat, and filmed entertainment revenue rose 4% to $627 million, and as lower theatrical revenue was offset by higher licensing revenue. Like I said, licensing is just the rights to be able to utilize the intellectual property. For recent theatrical releases in the home entertainment space, Paramount Pictures during the first quarter was supported by quarter 4 2024 holdovers like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Gladiator 2, while Novocaine debuted during the most recent quarter. Paramount has Tom Cruise Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning set to hit theaters for global release during its second quarter. Studio has been teasing the 8th Mission Impossible film from Skydance as the final entry in the franchise, but not least to boost audience interest. The Skydance media transaction is expected to be completed in the first half of 2025. So it's a little bit flummoxed right now. So from this, they have grown their subscribers, which is absolutely incredible, to 79 million subscribers. Now, I will say, I think one thing that Paramount has done a good job and a bad job of. They've done a good job of showcasing that they have content. The problem is they don't produce enough of it, right? Because producing content costs. So Nickelodeon, MTV, BET, they should produce more shows for Paramount Plus that you can only see on Paramount Plus, right? But BET Plus is its own streaming service. By the way, Tyler Perry owns a minority share because he's a minority owner in BET Plus. So I wanted to bring that into the conversation for all of you there. Now, this story is crazy as fuck. Saw this, could not believe it. Wanted to bring this to you to let you know there's bigger issues going on out here in the world. It incensed me to no end. What you're seeing is real. From MSNBC, the 47 administration is in talks about a disturbing reality TV show idea, a show in which immigrant contestants vie for U.S. citizenship will be a natural extension of 47's cruel gamification of social life. You heard me correctly. A show in which immigrant contestants vie for U.S. citizenship. A show in which immigrant contestants vie for U.S. citizenship. This is fucking real. Let's talk about it. The Department of Homeland Security is now in talks with a reality TV show producer about a game show in which immigrant contestants will compete for U.S. citizenship. I'm saying it 2 more times. The Department of Homeland Security is in talks with a reality TV show producer about a game show in which immigrant contestants will compete for U.S. citizenship. The Department of Homeland Security, a division of the government, is in talks with a reality TV show producer about a game show in which immigrant contestants will compete for U.S. citizenship. Okay? What would be a shocking story for any other White House is a fitting development for administration fixated on meddling policy with sadistic entertainment. According to the Wall Street Journal, television producer Rob Warsoff, that piece of shit, says he's been pitching the idea for the show as far back as the Obama administration, but the project didn't come together. Gee, I wonder if it's because we had a black president that understood that, hold up, no, these are human beings, okay? And we're not doing this We're not doing this of trying to compete to be a human being when they're already a human being. We're not doing that shit. Whose credits include the reality show Duck Dynasty, told the Journal that the show is meant to be hopeful that the contestants will be legal immigrants that losing would not result in deportation. Do you know the racist, the bigot, and the dumb fuck that everybody voted for president? Do you know who that is? No. No. If this show doesn't come to fruition, the fact that the 47 administration is even considerate and unafraid to admit to reporters is damning. It's unclear how far along the process is, but the Journal reports that Department of Homeland Security spokeswoman Tricia McLaughlin says she has spoken to the producer of the proposed television reality show and that consideration of the idea was ongoing as of right now. Yeah. And Warsaw described the feedback from DHS as positive. You know what that would have been like? Because, television came on in the 1950s. Hey, guess what? Guess what? We as white people are going to put on competition for these black people and see who want to be who want to be free and who don't want to be a Negro slave. That's pretty much what this equates to. According to the Journal, Warsaw said he has had no interaction with DHS Secretary Kristi Noem and isn't aware of whether she has knowledge of his show idea. The concept, even if audaciously framed as optimistic, is at best tasteless, and at worst it could be a form of dystopian art that evokes the Hunger Games or Squid Game. If you haven't seen the Hunger Games, are you going the hanging tree? Squid Game. You know that game that there's $456 million. Red light, green light, red light, green light. And there's something that happens if the dog catches you. Squid releases ink. You get the picture. There's no way to disentangle such a show from the policy backdrop of the 47 administration's demonization of immigrants as poisoning the blood of the country is brutal mass deportation regime, which, by the way, the 47 administration has had to admit that they fucked up with the mass deportation because there was a U.S. citizen that was an actual factual U.S. citizen, and 47 does not want to allow him back in the country. Oh, by the way, now I mentioned that they also deported some mothers with a child that had cancer. And also mislabeled people with a tattoo of a gang when they're not even part of the gang. But this is the dumb fuck that everybody else voted for, okay? And it's assault on due process and free speech rights along the way. Huge swaths of the immigrant population in the U.S. are made up of people attempting to escape persecution, violence, and destitution. It seems cruel to derive entertainment from people desperate to stay in the country, as so many others are expelled as a part of a right-wing nationalist campaign. Even if this show doesn't come to fruition, the fact that 47 administration is even considerate and is unafraid to admit to reports is damning. It's also unsurprising insofar as the administration has often sought to use art and means to celebrate the pain of immigrants to help give license to its brutal mass deportation regime. Moreover, Norman has fixated on photo ops while standing in front of ICE raids and El Salvador's vicious mega prison, inviting the public to celebrate the mechanics of immigrant detainment and incarceration. 47 of those around him quick to turn everything into a game or a laugh, most often at the expense of those most vulnerable among us. Shout out to Z Shlam Alim. Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's real. So it's mind-boggling to me that everybody is sucking up. Hey, Linnell, still welcome in, and also Mel NYC Reviews. Good to see you as well. It's so interesting to me how everybody is licking, sucking, and going up the behind, doing anal over just reporting reality TV when there is a whole government administration in talks with a reality show producer by way of the Department of Homeland Security to make a reality competition off of U.S. citizenship. Where is Black Mia in all of this? Is the question I have for you. Because I bet you a fifth core or a half of YouTube ain't gonna report on that damn story. I'll bet you that. Of course, the politics YouTube channels are reporting it, but in the reality TV sector, nobody's gonna report on this. Oh no, because it doesn't fit their point of view on what needs to matter. So how Portia Williams moves, thinks, and breathes is more important than the 47 administration being in talks about a disturbing reality TV show idea, a show in which immigrant contestants would vie for U.S. citizenship. Let's roll on. I told you this was going to be a grown-ass motherfucking conversation tonight. I told y'all that shit. I told you that shit. I told you that. Yeah. And don't worry, I'm going to give my take on where Black Mia is. The state of Black Mia, that is. I'm going to tell you what I believe the state of Black Mia is. Be prepared for it, child. From Deadline.com, broadcast schedules new paradigm, how 8 p.m. became the best time period on TV for live viewing, as 10 p.m. hangs in for now. For decades, TV schedulers were trained to look for self-stars to open the nights at 8 p.m. without having to rely on a lead-in. It was considered a challenging assignment that only the strongest shows could fulfill. Over the years, hits like Friends, Big Bang Theory, NCIS, Survivor, and Dancing with the Stars have held the anchor position test, with generating momentum for the rest of the lineup. Meanwhile, 10 p.m. was hailed as the marquee drama slot, with such iconic series as ER, Law and Order, the original, The Practice, NYPD Blue, and more recently, Blue Bloods calling the hour home. By the way, Jay Leno, who was the host of The Tonight Show on NBC, he hosted The Tonight Show for a very long time. Conan O'Brien hosted The Tonight Show for not a long time. Jay Leno had a primetime talk show called The Jay Leno Show on at 10 p.m. Eastern on NBC. Just want to bring that into the timeline. Things have changed over the past few years as linear ratings have eroded amid a shift in viewing habits. As the bulk of entertainment programming consumption has shifted to streaming, live viewing for the fair local stations carry in the prime access 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. hour, leading networks to prime time, a mix of syndicated game shows like Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud, those type of game shows there. News magazines, comedy, and drama repeats, as well as local news, has remained surprisingly resilient, generating lead-in stronger than the one's most current primetime series can provide. Suddenly, 8 p.m. is the cushiest time slot on television for the major broadcast networks except Fox. Meanwhile, the breakout success of ABC's High Potential this season notwithstanding, 10 p.m. dramas are becoming an endangered species. Out of the 8 drama series that were canceled or ended this season, 6 aired at 10 p.m. Networks more and more opt for news magazines and unscripted series in the hour amid constant drumbeat that the 3 broadcast networks that program the hour won't do that for long. Begging the question, was this the last upfront where we saw ABC, CBS, and NBC all unveil 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. schedules? The new golden hour. The access numbers are pretty eye-opening, with Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, the biggest shows in syndication, as tentpoles. The ABC stations deliver 5.113 million live plus same-day viewers in the 7 p.m. hour, leading into network's primetime. For CBS, the 7 p.m., 8 p.m. mix of programming, including news magazines, entertainment edition, Entertainment Tonight, local news and comedy repeats, brings in 4.443 million viewers live plus same day. NBC's primetime inherits access lead-in of 4.159 million live plus same day viewers from Access Hollywood, local news, drama repeats, and other shows. For comparison, to illustrate how strong the access viewership levels are, this season, there were 8 non-sports primetime programs on CBS, averaging more than 5 million in live plus same-day viewers, 3 on NBC and none on ABC, whose focus has been the adult 18 to 49 demo. Besides breakout hit High Potential, all of the other most watched ABC non-sports programs have averaged more than 4 million viewers in live plus same day, including 911, which was on Fox, moved over to ABC, Will Trent and Dancing with the Stars, airing at 7 Central only on ABC. Craig Elwich, president of Disney Television Group, spoke about the emergence of 8 p.m. as the premiere time slot on ABC, where he discussed the decision to put Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, hosted by Ryan Seacrest, on Fridays at 8 p.m. next fall. Coming off the access combo of the syndicated Wheel of Fortune, also hosted by Seacrest and Jeopardy. Give me a moment, y'all. Technology in. StreamYard shuts down. I will be back. So we're going to get through this tonight. Technology. Jesus Christ. Didn't I tell you? Because I told you exactly what just happened. Y'all remember that Family Guy meme? I didn't do it right. Hang on. Actually, hang on. Let me hang on. Let me see if I can bring it up. Family Guy. What did I tell you? Right here. Hang on. Let me bring it up. Because I told y'all if StreamYard cuts out, I will be back. I told y'all that. I told you that. And don't worry, we're going to get through this. Because, pal, we need to have this discussion. Hang on. Give me one moment. Right here. This is the energy I'm carrying tonight. Not just about, black media. Not just about the society we live in, but what I told y'all about StreamYard as well. So here we go.
I told you. What did I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Because I told you. And when did I tell you? A long time ago. And what did I say will happen when I told you? Exactly what just happened.
Let's get back to our broadcasting article from Deadline.com. Here we were at right here. Right here, Craig Elwich, president of Disney Television Group, spoke about the emergence of 8 p.m. as a premiere time slot on ABC when he discussed the decision to put Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, hosted by Ryan Seacrest, on Fridays at 8 p.m. next fall, coming off access combo of the syndicated Wheel of Fortune, also hosted by Ryan Seacrest and Jeopardy. We have this incredible luxury that we're able to put Celebrity Wheel of Fortune on Fridays at 8. If you were to write a story about live viewing, I actually think one of the stories you would write is about is that 8 o'clock on ABC is the single best time period on television for live viewing. He told Deadline our local stations dominate the primetime access brands coming out of Will and Jeopardy, which we have on our stations at 7 p.m. and 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. are the best places to launch shows. When we talk in the scheduling room, where are we going to put our biggest priority this year? It's always 8 o'clock. The picture is similar on NBC. Of the 3 Chicago shows, the network's most watched scripted series, the one that's getting the largest live plus same day viewership, this season is one that airs at 8 p.m. Chicago Med, NBC's most watched unscripted programming in live plus Sunday viewership, is the Monday edition of The Voice, which also starts at 8 p.m. During NBC's Saturday pre-upfront press call, Jeff Bader, President Programming Strategy, NBC Universal Entertainment, spoke about the power of the 8 p.m. Slot when discussing the schedule of the new unscripted series On Brand with Jimmy Fallon, which I will be reviewing, by the way. It will debut in September behind The Voice on Tuesday and then move to the Friday 8 p.m. hour in October once the NBA season starts and takes over Tuesday nights on NBC. We really want On Brand to work, and we have the two best time periods for that show are having The Voice as a lead-in, which is amazing. Access Now is the best lead and the broadest live lead-in that you can give shows. He said to be able to give the access time period on Friday at 8 p.m. is a huge opportunity for the show. We're just giving it the best opportunity to succeed. The Grosse Pointe Experiment. NBC recently provided a case study for the impact of the access lead with the scheduling relocation of struggling freshman drama series Grosse Pointe Garden Society from its original Sunday 10 p.m. time slot, where it aired behind Suits LA, which has been canceled up one season, to Fridays at 8 p.m. Years ago, a move to the lower trafficked Friday night would have been considered a demotion. Not now, especially when the opponent 8 p.m. slot is involved. Despite the mystery drama being highly sterilized, making it hard for a casual viewer to join in, Grosse Pointe saw an immediate 20% live plus Sunday viewership jump on its new night, and has improved that and has since improved that to 40%. That is off a small base, and Grosse Pointe remains NBC's lowest rated series of the season and live plus same day, but the effect of the access lead-in was instant and noticeable. The Fox exception, the access lead-in bonanza, does not extend to Fox as the network's local station, which carries programs such as Extra and TMZ from 7 to 8 p.m. deliver 1.946 million viewers in the hour, less than half of what ABC, NBC, and CBS get from their stations to kick off prime time. That what makes Fox shows work harder for their ratings. Fox Entertainment CEO Rob Way acknowledged that during the network's pre-upfront call on Sunday, we actually are really proud. Access is the strongest part for us. He said we actually grow 38% on our access. I think we're the only network to do that. 10 p.m. jitters. Conversations about the big three broadcast networks return to the 10 p.m. hour to their local stations began around the time DVRs were introduced to more than two and a half decades ago. TiVo, by the way, shout out to TiVo, which is still around, by the way. Glad that is kickings off the slow decline of 10 p.m. as viewers start using the time period to catch up on shows that they have recorded. The process accelerated by the arrival of streaming, which took on-demand viewing to another level. It also shifted broadcast networks owners' priorities to building their digital platforms, with the network's role evolving into providing an initial window for programs designed for streaming. Recalling how his long-ago predecessor Dave Barnett first raised this in the late 90s with ABC. I just did that as NBC. Anyway, moving on. Hearst Television President Mike Hayes said last October that discussions with the networks about 10 p.m. have continued ever since, insisting we see it as a win-win. Stations have long argued they could do better in the hour of local programming. Steve Kerr, Senior Vice President Programming, Planning and Scheduling for NBC Universal Entertainment, shared his own recollection of the 10 p.m. debate. It's more than a decade, he said on the NBC pre-upfront call. It used to come up when Jeff Bader and I worked at ABC every few years. The NBC Morning Show, while local stations have been eager to take over the 10 p.m. hour for decades, the prospect of that did not become real until 2022, when NBC became the first network to admit that was seriously considering dropping the slot under then NBC Universal CEO Jeff Schnell in October 2022. He acknowledged that the cost-cutting measure amid declining linear viewing for entertainment program would allow NBC Universal to reallocate sources toward areas of the company that were growing. It's unclear whether Schnell would follow through with the plan, as he was ousted several months later, but rumors about broadcast networks potentially abandoning the 10 p.m. hour have continued, alternating among the networks. First it was NBC, then ABC last year, most recently CBS, likely stemming from the fact that the proponent of NBC's 10 p.m. retreat, Shell, is now poised to become president of CBS Paramount, CBS parent Paramount Global, if/when its merger with Skydance Media is complete, according to sources. Shell did float the idea about dropping the 10 p.m. hour with CBS executives, but that was put to rest after he was presented with detailed arguments and data by programming the time slot makes financial sense for the network. 10 p.m. drama of the 3 broadcast network that air 3 hours of primetime Monday through Friday. CBS is the one that appears most committed to 10 p.m. dramas, having the genre on the fall schedule 5 nights a week with CIA, NCIS, Sydney, Elsbeth, and Boston Blue as well as Encores of Sunday to be replaced by Watson in January. 10 p.m. dramas are good business for CBS, from a performance and P&L standpoint, as well as the value they bring to Paramount Plus. George Cheeks, Paramount Global co-CEO and CBS president and CEO, told Deadline these dramas also provide a powerful lead-in for our late local news for our affiliates and owned and operated stations. NBC, which has 10 p.m. dramas on 3 nights with Brilliant Minds, Chicago PD, and The Hunted Party, is not contemplating exit from the hour either. That conversation 10 p.m. comes around every year for the last decade, but not right now. Bernier said on Saturday. With NBC Universal's 11 year NBA deal commencing in October to join the company's NFL and college football packages, NBC will have 3 nights a week of live sports in the fall and 2 in midseason that easily fill 3 hours of prime time. ABC has 2 10 p.m. dramas for the fall schedule, which features 2 nights of football programming. Returning hot newcomer High Potential on Tuesdays and veteran Grey's Anatomy on Thursdays. The network, which regularly slots game shows and news magazines in the time period, is trying something new this fall with Shark Tank on Wednesdays at 10 p.m. We're absolutely committed to 10 o'clock, which told Deadline we've launched our biggest hit show there. High Potential, Grey's Anatomy continues to thrive there. We put one of our most important shows, Shark Tank, there. It's a big hour for us. So that was a lot. On Shark Tank on at 10 p.m. with Tank and Shark as Mr. Wonderful is already doing on his own to the series. What chases people away from the 10 p.m. hour are all the god-awful 2-hour talent competitions from 8 to 10 p.m. I see one of those who write the network off for the night. If you watch that stuff, you're suffering from major sensory overload by then. NBC does themselves no favors by airing these highly sterilized shows like Founding Grosse Pointe Garden Society. No one's jumping into those shows 3 episodes in. Who's even watching TV? Still boomers. Well, obviously, there are people who are still watching TV. Now, of course, like I said, I think the 10 p.m. slot could go to network program. But also, too, there was a show called Tomorrow. I think that was on NBC with Tom Snyder. And it was on at 12:35. It worked out really, really well. Tom Snyder was a very good interviewer. And I think the reason why it worked because Tom Snyder didn't care about the ratings. And I think the war between art and commerce has always been there. And like I said, without art, you can't have any commerce. That equals money. And without money, you can't produce any art. So it's always a soul tie with those 2 things. So just leave it there. All right, y'all. We got more. Warner Brothers Discovery. Yeah, you see that, right? Coming soon, same app, newish name. The plot twist everyone's been waiting for. Max is becoming HBO Max, coming home this summer. I know, right? This was announced May 14th, 2025 at the Warner Bros. Discovery Upfront presentation in New York today. It was announced that Max, the company's premier streaming platform, will be rebranded as HBO Max this summer. Warner Bros. Discovery streaming business has had incredible momentum, turnaround its profitability by almost $3 billion in just 2 years. You're still $40 billion in debt, but congratulations on the win by scaling with 22 million subscribers added over the past year for clear path to reach over 150 million plus by the end of 2026. This is thanks to the enormous amount of hard work, investment, refocusing the strategy on the programming that is working best, like HBO, recent box office movies, docuseries, certain reality series from the Discovery brands and Max and local originals, and deprioritizing other genres that drive less engagement acquisition. This evolution has also been influenced by changing consumer needs and the fact that no consumer today is saying they want more content, but most consumers are saying they want better content, with other services filling the more basic needs with volume. Warner Bros. Discovery has clearly distinguished itself through its quality and distinct stories, and no brand has done that better and more consistently over 50 plus years than HBO rather. Return the HBO brand into HBO Max will further drive the service forward and amplify the uniqueness that subscribers can expect from the offering. It's also a testament to Warner Bros. Discovery's willingness to keep boldly iterating its strategy and approach, leaning heavily on consumer data and insights to best position itself for success. David Zaslav, president and CEO of Warner Bros. Discovery, said the powerful growth we have seen in our global streaming services built around the quality of our programming. Today, we are bringing back HBO, the brand that represents the highest quality in media, to further accelerate that growth in the years ahead. During the Warner Bros. Discovery upfront on stage at Madison Square Garden, J.P. Perrette, president and CEO of streaming, and Cassie Bloys, chairman and CEO of HBO and Max Content, provided further details on the upcoming change. Correct. We will continue to focus on what makes us unique. Not everything is for everyone in a household, but something distinct and great for adults and families. It's not really subjective, not even controversial. Our programming just hits different. Bloys. With the course we are on and strong momentum we are enjoying, we believe HBO Max far better represents our current consumer proposition and clearly states our implicit promise to deliver content that's recognized as unique and to still align, we've always said, at HBO worth paying for. So HBO Max is the premier global streaming platform from Warner Bros. Discovery that delivers the most unique and captivating stories, ranging from the highest quality in scripted programming, movies, documentaries, true crime, adult animation, live sports and news where available. HBO Max is the destination for prestigious entertainment brands such as HBO, Warner Brothers, Max Originals, DC, Harry Potter, A24 Films, as well as iconic shows like Friends and Big Bang Theory all in one place. We were on a break. This is HBO. This was Max. So that is Rachel and Ross, the we were on a break thing. So it's funny that they're going back to HBO Max. So HBO stands for Home Box Office, and this platform broke the mold when it came to movies that you could watch movies from home, right? So HBO, there is no regulation from FCC, so you can go there, right? So very interesting. Let's look at the brands here. Just want to look at the brands here for a minute. So you got Adult Swim, Animal Planet, Boomerang, Cartoon Network, CNN, Discovery Plus, Food Network, Golf Digest, HBO, HGTV, ID, Investigation Discovery, Max, which is now HBO Max, New Line Cinema, 150, OWN, Science, TBS, Turner Classic Movies, TLC, TNT, Travel Channel, True TV, and Warner Brothers. So it was a bigger list. They shortened it. Let's roll on. Come on. There we go. From the Howard Report, Return the HBO Max is the latest potential Warner Bros. Discovery split. Remember when I told y'all that Warner Bros. Discovery separated the linear television networks from the studios and the streamers? It is married in 2022, divorced in 2025. For 2 years, we were fed a steady stream of why Warner Bros. Discovery dropped the HBO from HBO Max. The short version was too limiting. Max became streaming home to more than just prestige TV, etc., etc. Well, now HBO Max is back a bit and improved app, and the rebranding of the rebrand is likely the latest sign of a potential division of Warner Bros. Discovery assets. On May 8th, after Warner Bros. Discovery reported its March quarter earnings, CNBC's Dave Faber had a report of his own. Warner Bros. Discovery is moving towards a split. It's become relatively clear to me in many conversations that I've had that we could get some sort of announcement in the not too distant future that they are planning to try to split the company, Faber said. Warner Bros. Discovery did not respond to Howard Report's request for comment on the Faber report. The only split that makes sense for Warner Bros. Discovery, which was just formed in April 2022 as a combination of Warner Media under AT&T and Discovery Inc., would be to pair the Warner Bros. Studios with Max and spin the Discovery linear cable channels into a new company like Spinco, first it from NBC Universal. If you understand the moves that are happening around you, you'll understand what you're seeing in front of you. I've always said that. Faber favors, reporting concurs, but we can also just source our intuition and logic on this one. A Warner Bros. Discovery split and spin will not come without hurdles, like the fact that HBO Max also houses most of the same program that populates Discovery Plus, which is the only unscripted streaming platform there. How do you rectify that problem? You reattach Max to HBO brand and remove the Discovery stuff later. We're not quite there yet. We're not quite there yet, but it sure feels intimate. 30 minutes into Wednesday's Warner Bros. Discovery upfront, HBO chief Casey Bloys declared HBO Max is back. The absurdity of it was all met with laughter, light applause, and exactly one whistle. It felt like the advertisers in Madison Square Garden Theater were laughing at Max and not with it. Later in the show, the announcement of new Shark Week programming, Dance with Sharks, hosted by ousted Dance with the Stars host Tom Bergeron, got a similar joke. Are you kidding me? Kind of laughing. I'm not joking. That's an actual show that's coming. Dance with the Sharks. That's where we are with content. No disrespect to Tom Bergeron, a legendary host rather. Bloys did follow with a solid joke. I know that you're all shocked, but the good news is I have a drawer full of stationery from the last time around. Good one. Bloys has to be happy with the development, though he oversees both HBO and Max brands. A re-elevation of HBO's a further endorsement of Bloys. The on-stage self-deprecation continued when HBO Max Chief Marketing Officer Chandra Spenceley displayed the 3 Spider-Men pointing meme, "No you! No you! No you!" on the big screen behind her, replacing the Marvel Spies with DC Superman, overlaying the logos of Max, HBO Max, and the old streaming video on demand service HBO Go, which first beget the first HBO Max. The press release got in on the joke for me of its own. Ross Dave Schwimmer from Friends in bed between the Max and HBO logo, shouting we were on a break. HBO Max first launched in 2020, but was a buggy user experience, so the Max platform was built from scratch for 2023 launch. This summer, that new platform stays with the name notes. Warner Bros. Discovery president and CEO David Zaslav came into this whole Warner Bros. Discovery endeavor as the Discovery chief, but he has spent the past few years lining himself with the Warner Bros. Side. Zaslav literally ordered Jack Warner's desk out of storage, and now he rules the iconic Warner Bros. Lot from it. Charming. Zaslav is one split away from fully turning his former position atop a whittling bundle of cable channels into the man exclusively in charge of Warner Brothers. Of HBO and Warner Bros., 2 giant brands in Hollywood history and its present. The looming question: what to do with that $35 billion in remaining debt, as created by the literal creation of Warner Bros. Discovery? We do not have an answer yet, but it sure would be nice to bury millions before Discovery Spinco. Speaking of Spinco, Zaslav is watching the very blueprint unfold in front of him as NBC Universal spins out its own cable channels into a company now called Versa. Basically, NBCU, owned by Comcast, is keeping the studios and streaming Peacock, the NBC broadcast channel, Bravo. The rest goes on the they scratched out on Jump Powell and Spinco. The rest goes to Versant. The former NBC Universal president Jeff Schnell is keeping a close eye on the haps as well. She'll be named president of Skydance Paramount. Our guess at a name, but names are getting really dumb. When that merger goes through, it's expected to happen by the summer. Paramount has a bunch of bad linear cable channels as well, a result of the remerger of Viacom and CBS in 2019, which became Paramount Global in 2022. Shell and David Ellis included CBS, Paramount Pictures, and maybe Paramount Plus, and spend the rest of the trucks away. They may be reversible by all their leftovers. So Paramount Global could also spin off the cable channels. See what's happening here? So, after I get our next destination up here, like I said, I'm slowly dog walking this, because it's all going to lead back. UBN TV, Melody Cherie. Stay tuned. Get this up. So let me go back here and let me pull up the map. right here. Bring this up. Give it a moment. It's doing what it's doing. So I'm going to take down the banner. MLNYC reviews comment. So, like I said, we talked about NBC Universal. No black network, but black people watching Bravo. We talked about Paramount with BET, Black Entertainment Television. We're talking about Warner Brothers Discovery, which is the Oprah Winfrey Network. Okay. All right. So there we go. Fox has Fox Soul. Next Star Media Group Incorporated has no black network, and Disney has no black network. So that is the map as we have it. Banner back up. Okay. Branding experts on decision to flip Max back to HBO Max, a corporate walk of shame from Variety.com. So here it is here. HBO Now, Max, HBO Max, and HBO Go. And then there's Warner Bros. Discovery. Come on. Warner Bros. Discovery knew the announcement that it was restoring HBO to the name of its Max streaming will listed forehead slapping desertion. The media company tried to preempt mockery of the move by posting a slew of self-deprecating memes immediately after it said the newish HBO Max name will come back this summer. But the consensus among branding experts is that Warner Bros. Discovery decision to resurrect HBO Max after 2 years of life as Max was a tactic acknowledgement that it committed a big strategic error, one that continues to cause confusion. Re-adding HBO isn't a rebrand, it's a corporate walk of shame. Eric Schiffer, chairman of LA-based Reputation Management Consultants, which provides celebrity PR, public relations, and branding consulting. Every Neon Max banner hangs like a scarlet letter of incompetence. He added hyperbolically that stripping it costs more than some streamers spend on content. By exercising HBO from the streamer name in 2023, Warner Bros. Discovery destroyed 50 years of prestige. Schiffer said now it has to haul that gravestone back and pay for the funeral twice. The latest name change is an attempt to correct one of corporate America's biggest branding fumbles, behind only to must be christened Twitter's X, said branding expert David Acker, vice chairman at Profit, a business strategy and marketing consulting firm. Indeed, Max account on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter was all set to troll Musk's "Your Move X," it wrote in a post on Wednesday. Others have likened the previous change from HBO Max to the famous 80s new Coke marketing debacle. Akers said Warner Bros. Discovery flip-flopping from HBO Max to HBO Max was an example of corporations underestimating the cost and complexity of creating a new brand. Going from HBO Max to Max was the pinnacle, walking away from brand equity, brand loyalty, brand clarity. He said. Lisa Kane, strategy director at branding consultancy Siegel plus Gale, said that brand name only goes so far when the business strategy is unclear. The changes to HBO Max forced the question, what are the Warner Bros. Discovery's goals for HBO? Is it to reclaim their quality mantle? If that's even possible given the competition, she said. If so, it's not just about the brand or the name. They'll need to make hard decisions about the content and product experience, and we want to execute against that. Brand confusion surrounding HBO and the streaming realm goes back years before Warner Bros. Discovery was formed from Discovery's acquisition. Warner Media, previously called Time Warner. There's another name bundle for you. Originally, the premium cabler introduced the HBO Go service for authenticated paid TV subscribers before launching the standalone HBO Now in 2015, then trying to claim HBO Max. So what were the Warner Bros. Discovery executives thinking when they dropped HBO, which has long been a gold standard of premium television programs for the service name? The rationale was twofold. One was to reflect on the expanded content lineup with the addition of thousands of hours of content from Discovery Networks, which, according to a company slide deck at the time, was expected to help the male skewing HBO Max attract more female viewers. The other stated reason was to convey that Max was family friendly. HBO stands for Bridging Groundbreaking Entertainment for Adults. Warner Bros. Discovery streaming chief J.B. Brett said 2 years ago, the company kept the HBO brand, of course, as supported under the Max umbrella. Fast forward to this week, and here's what to explain that HBO Max is not trying to be a gargantuan bin that appeals to all audiences. We will continue to focus on what makes us unique, not everything for everyone in a household, but some distinct for great adults and families. Warner Bros. Discovery social and marketing teams tried to generate goodwill by making jokes about HBO Max's return. These brands are trying to murder me, the Stream on Max account said in its update about on X Twitter. The account also shared a topical pulp gag with an image of white smoke billowing from the Warner Bros. Watch House, signaling a new brand has been chosen and a spin on the Spider-Man pointing meme, which you saw at the top of this article featuring DC Spider-Man. Brilliant white smoke was seen coming from Warner Brothers. The Warner Bros. Watch House new brand has been chosen. So basically what this article is telling us is that brand equity and the cultural capital of how people embrace you matters. That's what that's all about. And then here is Entertainment Weekly here. HBO trolls its own HBO Max name change with Friends Game of Thrones before it means bitch, you better be joking. Someone calls Ross Geller because Max is set to pivot back to its previous name, HBO Max. Warner Bros. Discovery is hopping aboard the meme train following its recent announcement that the streamer app Max will be returning to its previous name, HBO Max, sometime this summer. Shortly after the rebrand was announced at Warner Bros. Discovery 2025 upfront presentation, HBO social media handles quickly began poking fun at the new old name change using an arsenal of hilarious screenshots, videos, and GIFs from programs like Friends, True Detective, The Wire, Euphoria, and the HBO Max celebrates resurrection by posting a clip of Kit Harington's Game of Thrones character, Jon Snow, dramatically coming back to life. What is dead may never die, it wrote on Twitter. HBO Max coming this summer, same app, newish name. Another image posted by HBO showcased the full timeline of the app's many different names before eventually reverting back to HBO Max. Below the company included a screenshot of Alex Demi's Euphoria character Maggie saying, "Bitch, you better be joking." Then HBO added what she said. So here we go. HBO Go, HBO Now, HBO Max, and then back to HBO Max. It also posted a scene from The Wire in which Idris Elba's character Stringer declares that we're back up once again. Put the word out there, captioned in the clip.
I want you to put the word out there that we back up. Understand me? We back up.
That's what Idris Elba said. Okay? That we up. You heard? We up. One more time. Hang on.
I want you to put the word out there that we back up. Understand me? We back up.
One more time.
I want you to put the word out there that we back up. Understand me? We back up.
The official Max account, however, has some thoughts about the name change in its own True Detective theme TikTok featuring season 1 star Matthew McConaughey. Someone once told me time is a flat circle. The actor says in the clip, everything we've ever done or will do, we're going to do over and over again. Above the video, Max simply wrote, explaining to my friends that I work at HBO Max again. As that loads up, Max also shared a pair of screenshots that saw Julia Louis-Dreyfus character Selena Meyer celebrating its own rebranding. On Veep, it added, "What do you think?" It also hilariously posted a GIF on Twitter depicting a reverse Uno card and all the news. So rebranded, new hair, rebranded. And if that wasn't enough, the company also dropped a cheeky Friends reference at the end of its press release that featured Dave Schwimmer's Ross shouting the infamous line, "We were on a break." Oh, here it is here.
Flat circle. Of everything we've ever done or will do, we're going to do over and over and over again.
One more time.
When someone once told me time is a flat circle. Of everything we've ever done or will do, we're going to do over and over and over again.
President and CEO of streaming J.B. Perret and chairman and CEO of HBO Max Content Casey Blow shed some mild name on the change during the upfront with the course. We're on strong momentum. We're enjoying. We believe HBO Max far better represents our current consumer proposition. Boyce explained clearly states our implicit promise to deliver content that's recognized as unique to still line that we've always said HBO worth paying for. Perret added the company aims to continue to focus on what makes it unique as it moves forward under the familiar title. Not everything is for everyone in a household, but something distinct and great for adults and families. He says it's not really subjective, not even controversial. Our programming is different. Whew, believe me, we are getting through these for sure. But it's all leading to a point, ladies and gentlemen. It's all leading to a point. Sorry, y'all. My Lord. From awful announcing future Warner Bros. Discovery spinoff may face streaming struggles. Without Max, TNT, TBS, and True TV might find reach severely limited. Just as Comcast, NBC Universal prepares to launch its own cable spinoff, first and Warner Bros. Discovery appears to be eyeing the same fate for its cable assets. According to multiple reports, Warner Bros. Discovery is gearing up to split its business into two. One side will keep the movie studio and the Max streaming platform. The other will house declined cable assets like TNT, TBS, True TV, and also the Oprah Winfrey Network. It's all fine and good. After all, at the very least, Warner Bros. Discovery will be shedding itself from the cable networks that stymied the growth prospects of its other forward-looking businesses. But reality may be tough sledding for those channels after they leave the Warner Bros. Discovery mothership. Puck's Julia Alexander really broke down the hurdles these networks will face after a split from Warner Bros. Discovery, and one path that could possibly lead to some success. At the crux of the issue is sports rights. As everyone knows, Warner Bros. Discovery is in its last season of airing the NBA games. That lost both company to gobble up as many ancillary sports rights as possible to stay relevant enough that paid TV distributors had to keep them on their platforms. The French Open, mouse football, and a handful of NASCAR races. None of those will make up for the loss of the NBA, but that's not the goal. They simply have to get enough. What happens to these properties and Warner Bros. Discovery marquee sports inventory like Major League Baseball, National Hockey League, and March Madness when the company splits? That could pose a significant problem. As it stands, any sports property that airs on TNT, TBS, and True TV is also available to the 56 million people that subscribe to Max. When those channels eventually break out of Warner Bros. Discovery, they will be on their own. Viewers that relied on Max to watch Warner Bros. Discovery sports properties will be left in the dust. Versus taking a unique approach to this issue with its sports properties no longer permitted. Peacock, the new company, is leaving it to the individual cable networks to determine their own streaming futures. That means Golf Channel could end up streaming in one place while USA ends up at another. The ending result, at least in the short term, is more fragmentation. That would be a key challenge to both cable spinoffs as sports rights float their businesses, securing digital distribution on established platforms. The key to staying in business with leagues beyond their current contracts. One solution, Puck's Alexander, suggests that future Warner Bros. Discovery spinoff should lean into its niche sports strategy. Spinoff companies like Versant, wherever Warner Bros. Discovery decides to name its new entity, won't have the purchasing power to compete for tier one sports rights like the NFL, NBA, or major college football. However, they can dominate a niche sport if they play their cards right. Versant will test this model with golf. The company will own the Golf Channel, but also Tee Time booking business Golf Now and the golf membership business Golf Pass. I forgot about Golf Now when I was talking about NBC Universal earlier. Owning the entire chance, Alexander put it, might be the key to growth for these two companies. Okay, I almost got there. And she thinks the Warner Bros. Discovery spinoff is well positioned to take over tennis like Versant has done for golf. Perhaps Warner Bros. Discovery Cable Net should acquire the tennis channel and its direct-to-consumer pride to put the company at the center of all things tennis, amplify its French Open right. She writes, maybe the company can crib from Versant CEO Mark Lazarus' golf strategy and buy an app like Eye on Court, which helps users for matches and creates a local leaderboard engaging tennis fans, players, and spectators, as well as spectators. This Warner Bros. Discovery will own the entire chain. They can monetize each step of the journey. No matter what, these cable spinoffs will be on the struggle bus with regard to keeping their companies viable, but investing in the business outside linear television might be the best path forward. Whew. Okay, y'all. Let me see what time we got. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're almost there, y'all. We're almost there. Jesus, I might be just going through the rest of these articles here, but there's a point to this. Where is the black media in all of this? Warner Bros. Discovery CFO, Chief Financial Officer, explained reasoning behind Max rebrand and potential company split. Gunder Whitfield's told an investor conference there's a lot more openness to the discussions to discuss the options ahead for additional industry consolidation and disruptive streaming era. What really differentiates us, what really swings the needle when it comes to growth, momentum, quality, is the quality content that we can produce that in a way that nobody else can. Windows said of the popular HBO series underpinning Max during appearance at the National Media, Internet, and Communications Conference, right? HBO Max launched in 2020 as home to a host of popular HBO shows and first became Max in 2023. That's as Warner Bros. Discovery looked to broaden the streamer with a more mainstream content offering. There was a lot of everything for everyone in the market, and we obviously came out the gate with a combined portfolio with our Discovery networks and HBO. But Windows told investors that Max was now moving from a more is better to a better is better approach to content. Consumers appear to covet unique content, increasingly crowded and streaming space. The market has spoken. Here, the quality is a real differentiator. He said Windows also addressed the possibility of Warner Bros. Discovery doing a major split of the company in the wake of a disruptive streaming era. There's a lot more openness to discuss the options, opportunities. We're just going to make sure that we're in position to take advantage of whatever opportunity arises. Windows said a major Hollywood players possibly position themselves for what they may see as another round of industry mergers and acquisitions on the horizon. So basically what he's saying is to now have HBO back, right, with Max allows them to be more creative in their content, right? And speaking of that, one of the properties, right, is CNN. Now, of course, they did CNN Plus. It didn't work out too well. It was canceled like literally in a month. But according to Cord Cutters News, CNN announced its new streaming service as a part of expanded all-access subscription set for fall 2025 launch. As it loads up here. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to stretch my legs. Okay, here we go. Here we go. From as soon as it loads up, there we go. From Cord Cutters News, CNN announces a new streaming service with live news set for a fall 2025 launch. CNN announced today a bold step forward in its digital evolution with the launch of a new streaming product slated to debut in the United States in fall 2025. The innovative offering integrated into CNN's newly introduced all-access subscription tier aims to deliver a seamless, centralized platform for audiences to engage with CNN's world-renowned journalists and original programming. The streaming product will provide subscribers with a dynamic range of viewing options, including a curated selection of live channels, catch-up features, and extensive library of video-on-demand content accessible across multiple platforms such as the CNN mobile app, connected TV platforms, and CNN.com. So I wanted to bring this up, right? Because as you can see, for current CNN pay TV subscribers, rather, so I'd say customers, but subscribers are customers basically. The streaming service will come at no additional cost, allowing them to log in and access the platform seamlessly. CNN's traditional pay TV linear experience will remain fully available to subscribers across all platforms, ensuring continuity for those who prefer conventional viewing. Additionally, CNN will maintain its presence on Warner Bros. Discovery's Max streaming platform, reinforcing its multi-platform strategy to deliver high-quality journalism to diverse audiences. So, I believe that the best thing for Warner Bros. Discovery to do is create HBO News. Very simple to do. You can get Brian Williams, you can get cultural, social commentators, and journalists that are coming out of college the chance to be on HBO News. And because HBO has no FCC regulation, you can go there And not to mention too, it would also highlight the diversification of HBO, because Disney Plus adds ABC News programs including Good Morning America, 2020, Nightline, and more. So the newly added programs to Disney Plus are Good Morning America. The beloved morning show features news, interviews, and lifestyle segments with anchors. I'm going to put some respect on their title there. Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Mike Strahan. Nightline, the late night news program delivering in-depth report on global events and human interest stories, anchored by Byron Pitts and Drew Chain. This week with George Stephanopoulos, a Sunday morning staple, offering political analysis and interviews with newsmakers and roundtable discussions. Impact X Nightline, a streaming exclusive series from ABC News providing investigative journalism and deep dives into pressing issues. World News Tonight with Dave Muir, the flagship evening newscast led by anchor Dave Muir, delivering comprehensive coverage of national and international news. ABC Prime, ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis, ABC News Live, Emmy Award-winning streaming newscasts anchored by Lindsay Davis, focused on breaking news and stories in 2020. The long-running investigative journalism program exploring true crimes with an interest in high-profile cases. So ABC doesn't have a black network, right? So that indicates to me that Freeform could be potentially their black network, potentially, right? And let me see the time here. 1:36. Shit, we're good. We're good. We're going to get through it all, y'all. We're going to get through it all. So right here, by way report on this morning, Charter cable combo plus news sports, news streamers equals future media showdown. So for those of you who don't know, Charter, right, bought Cox, right? So it's going to be known as Cox Communications moving forward, but Charter Spectrum will be the consumer brand, right? By the way, for those of you who are wondering what's a brand, I'm going to use Nickelodeon, for example. Nickelodeon, they had the programming, accounting, human resources. The business side is the adult side of a network. The brand side is Nickelodeon Studios. Nickelodeon takes over your school, the Kids' Choice Awards. That's the fun side. So the brand is the kid side. The business side is the adult side, okay? So right here, 3 of the best known names in TV this week announced their intent to open up new shops off the traditional screen. Disney's ESPN, after much chatter, will put all of sports coverage and studio programming on a new direct-to-consumer streaming app that executives hope will drive a business that is more heavily dependent on broadband video outposts like Hulu and Disney Plus. What's going to happen to ESPN Plus is the question. One of the pillars of the old school cable bundle intended to debut 2 different shingles, one tied to its news coverage and another linked to news about weather. And Fox Corporation, perhaps a staunch defender in recent years of staying tied to cable, said that it too will put all its television offerings, including its coverage Fox Sunday NFL telecast on new streaming service it calls Fox One. So Fox has Fox Soul, right? I think you can only get on streaming. I don't think you can get on linear television. At the end of the week came the pushback. Charter Communications, one of the biggest cable broadband distributors in the nation, said it intended to grow larger with the acquisition of privately held Cox Communications, the oldest operator in the sector. Despite their growing interest in streaming, the aforementioned media conglomerates still need the cash that alliances with Charter generate. And Charter CEO Chris Winfrey has not been shy of the past when it comes to pointing out how direct-to-consumer streaming services degrade the traditional cable business. We're targeting the service entirely to the cordless community, the cordless market out there. LaShawn Murdoch, Fox Sports CEO, it will be unfair for us if we attracted more Canadian subscribers, or we do not want to lose a traditional cable subscriber to Fox One, right? Also, too, don't forget about Tubi. They have 95 million monthly active users as well. In April, Charter revealed that lost 60,000 internet customers during the first quarter of the year, as well as 181,000 video customers. Rival Comcast disclosed that it lost 199,000 broadband customers, more than analysts had expected, while also parting ways with 427,000 video subscribers, right? So, with that being said, when it came to, Charter Communications, they are going to have their Charter Spectrum News as a part of, Cox, but they won't own any major networks, right? But that could change, though. The more reach you have, the bigger you want to be in terms of programming, right? So I just wanted to bring this into the timeline as well. So then, something that you may not know about Peacock, right? When it launched on July 15th, it had free and premium tiers, okay? This was the only streaming service from any one of the major networks, right? And we're talking about ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, and CW, right? So right here, Peacock is the only free premium ad support streaming service that brings together everything consumers love about television streaming all in one place. Peacock offered a ad-supported free tier, right? So right here, with both free and premium tiers that will feature current season hits from NBC, timely news, sports, and pop culture highlights, and dozens of genre channels, including live news from NBC News Now, Sky News, and curated channels featuring the best, most of your favorite shows like The Office, Saturday Night Live, Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, Late Night with Seth Meyers, and exclusive genre channels like CNBC's Megan It, Today All Day, CNBC Ka-Ching, American Greed, A's Mixtape, True Crime, Kiss Me Deadly, Peacock Reality, Out of This World, Casa Grande, I Love Jenny, and others. The only streamer to offer a free premium tier of service, this is no longer available, but Peacock will delivered more than 13,000 hours of content completely free, including a vast library of popular movies like The Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, The Bourne Ultimatum, Jurassic Park, and all those movies there. The free tier will offer new episodes of NBC current season series 1 week after their air, including hits This Is Us and The Blacklist, sample episodes of Peacock Originals, and hundreds of iconic shows, including comedies like 30 Rock, Parks and Recreation, Saturday Night Live, and more shows, right? And live sports in the free tier include 4 exclusive Premier League matches on July 15th, coverage of the U.S. Open Championship and Women's Open Championships, an NFL wildcard playoff game, and selected events from the upcoming Tokyo Beijing Olympics, right? And then, of course, you can catch on-demand replays. So, it was interesting because, like I said, that was a free tier. They're not doing that anymore. But it could open up the space for Disney Plus to do a free tier, for Hulu to do a free tier, for ESPN to do a free tier, right? Also, Paramount Plus could do a free tier. HBO Max could do a free tier, with shows coming onto the platform a week after they air. But also, too, that could be a good spot for content creators, right? Just like Pluto TV, Xumo TV. ABC does not have a free TV app. It tried to do it with the ABC app, but of course, they closed that down because they want everybody on Disney Plus. Yes, indeed. Let me pull that up there. Believe me, I'm working tonight. So, Tubi is Fox, NBC Universal is Xumo, CBS is Pluto TV, the CW is CW app, and ABC no free TV app. So, Tubi is the free television platform for Fox. NBC Universal is Xumo, which is in partner with Chart Communications, which bought Cox today. CBS is Pluto TV, the CW, which is Nexstar Media Group Incorporated, has CW app, so they are not beholden to anybody. And ABC stupidly got rid of the ABC app, but ABC could buy Roku. Back to NBC Universal, Comcast launches 2 more black networks, joining Revolt, which was formerly owned by P. Diddy. Of course, he had to divest it because of the trial he's in, and Aspire TV, which is owned by Magic Johnson. Jesus. It's all into a point, though. Come on. Come on. Come on. my Lord. I'm gonna figure out why it's just not. Come on. Give it to me, please. There we go. Comcast launches 2 more black networks joining Revolt and Aspire. Comcast Cable has announced that the company is now accepting proposals for 2 African-American owned and independent networks that will launch its select Comcast markets by January 2019. This was back in the day where the FCC didn't care about diversity, equity, and inclusion. They actually embraced it. According to the press statement, 4 networks were launched as a result of public requests for channels that satisfy the criteria and established in several agreements between Comcast and leading diversity organizations. 2 African-American majority networks, Aspire and Revolt, 2 Hispanic American operated networks, Babies First Americas and El Rey, which was from Mr. Rodriguez, Spy Kids, the director of Spy Kids, rather. What's more, 2 substantially Hispanic American owned networks, Kids Central and Primal TV, will launch beginning in January 2017. So, in case you did not know that, okay? Now, the 2 networks, right, Clio TV and I believe Afro TV. Thank you, Florentine. Love you, brother. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, Disney could team up with Philo TV as well. Because y'all remember that Roku TV also bought Friendly TV, which they're going to turn into Roku TV, by the way, in case you guys did not know. Just giving you a little game. Just checking the time, everybody. Just checking the time. Just checking the time, everybody. Just checking the time. We're at 1 hour, 47 minutes. You're almost there, everybody. We're almost there. See, make sure. Okay, I'm live. Okay. All right, hang on. Shit, hang on. Give me one moment, y'all. Give me one moment. Don't worry, we're going to get there. Stop sharing screen and present again. Oh, damn technology sometimes, child. Irks me. It just irks me. Really though? Really though? Give me a moment. I don't know why I didn't show it. Shit. Okay, so to make this happen, hang on one second, y'all. Hang on 1 second. I don't know why it's not sharing the screen. So either way, Revolt TV and Aspire asked NBC Universal to basically come out with some new networks, right? So that was that. And then finally, Clio TV and Afro TV came about, right? So to that end, I told you I would tell you the state of black media, right? And hang on one second. Actually, I'm going to do this real quick. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Hey, everybody. I'm back. Don't worry. We're going to finish this out. For you, or for it to make sense. So let me pull up this here, this here, this here. Okay. All right. So right here, like I said, 2 more black networks could join Revolt and Aspire. Comcast Cable announced that the company has now accepted proposals for 2 African-American owned independent networks that will launch in the Comcast markets in January 2019. So this was, according to a press statement, 4 networks were launched as a result of a public request for channels that satisfy criteria and several agreements between Comcast and leading diversity organizations. 2 African-American majority-owned networks, Aspire, Magic Johnson, Revolt, formerly Diddy, and 2 Hispanic American operated networks, Babies First Americas and El Rey, Mr. Rodriguez, the director of Spy Kids. What's more, 2 substantially Hispanic American-owned networks, Kids Central and Primo TV, will begin launching in January of 2017. Come on now. Okay, here we go. Come on. There we go. Okay. Finally, Afro and Clio TV will launch on Comcast Xfinity in January 2019. Comcast, NASDAQ CMCSA, announced today, or that day rather, they have selected 2 new African-American majority-owned independent networks to be broadly distributed on Comcast cable systems beginning January 2019. So, the state of black media right now, as I see it, is shit. It is shit. You remember when I said I was going to bring up Melody Cherie in Nubian TV? You have to be bigger than 8-hour lives and being so secluded in order for you to rise. A lot of black media is broken up in parts, but there is no unity. It is disjointed. You know what? There's no unity. It's in disarray. That's what it is. Because remember when I showed you guys Nubian TV at the top of the show, and how when you try to watch the shows on Nubian TV, it had a maintenance problem. The only way something will need maintenance is if you're not investing in it. And in order for anything to rise, like I said, diversification and accessibility determines that rise or demise. The 7th Avenue Beauty Cruise, right? Okay. The 7th Avenue Beauty Con, the 7th Avenue Beauty Entrepreneurial Summit, right? The 7th Avenue Beauty Sleepover Takeover Weekends, right? Or anything else, even 7th Avenue Beauty Pop-Ups, right? So the more that you do to meet your audience right where it is, and by the way, El Rey Network was created by Robert Rodriguez, right? So the more that you meet the network, the more that you meet your audience where they are, the more the audience will come to you, right? So the state of Black media is shit, but that doesn't mean that it can't come back. I truly believe we have more united and together than what can divide us. But the only way that will ever work is if we expand out of our comfortable spaces and break into spaces where we are not seen. And that's just keeping it a buck. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation on where in the Black media, or where in the world is Black media in all of this. I truly mean this with love, grace, and space. I want us to win. But obviously, if I can't watch us win, then I can't, not only can I not support, but also can't promote. That's Nubian TV. It's going to come out that my finger here is over here. So I'm going to point over here so the short come out here. So the state of Black media needs to be better than a hot air balloon with a site under maintenance. And obviously, if you are updating things, let us know. We want to support. We want to invest. We want to be able to be a solution. But if the problems are not being handled and you're not willing to invest to expand yourself, then what can we do as Black people? That's it. So that's it. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love and send it right back to you. Know what you do and do what you know. Never say you want more special, because you will always want a blessing. And trust, you may not be where you want to be, but by the end of it, you'll be where you need to be. Do what you're chosen to do. Why? It's one thing to call yourself. It's nothing to be chosen. One love, much love, all love. I spend time with you. You spend time with me. Hopefully, by spending time together, we should be great together. And I always remember, we're doing radio, television, YouTube, live your best life, or just breaking down Black media. Just try to let the people know, listen, this is the state of it. Do we care about where we are? Do we want to be more than what society talks about us? Or is society right? The only way we will ever be something is if we give a fuck about becoming something. Make sure the replay is not just worth for you to watch it, not just worth for you to listen to it, but for you want to experience it. Again, I love you. I value, I embrace you all. Always remember, when see love, you gotta give it. When see love, you gotta give it. When see love, you gotta give it. Wherever obstacles you will overcome, wherever success you have achieved upon this particular day. I'm extremely proud of you, but no one's as proud of you. Be proud of your damn self. And finally, y'all, I want us to be Wakanda in real life. But good damn, Chadwick Boseman at least had the gumption, the breath, and the depth to have a no prisoners, no fuck, no shit mentality of I'm going to go to work until it works. And we got to have that energy too. Once again, I feel the love and send it right back to you. Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful night. See you soon.